Couldn't have asked for a better start, could you, Ken? A way to make a statement in a...
I thought we played really well tonight. I thought through the course of the game, and we're playing against a team in as good a form nearly as probably anyone in the competition, and I thought we were quite aggressive right from the start in the way we wanted to play, and the boys played with a bit of confidence, played with some belief about what they're capable of, and the last 4 weeks everyone talks around winning and losing too much a little bit. I reckon we've been building back to some pretty reasonable form.
Anything significant about what you showed today that wasn't there for the previous 4? Or?
No, I think that's, again, if you just lump them in as 4, I think it's unfair to put them in together. Every club's had some challenges through this part of the year, and we've been in a little bit of a challenging spot for a different number of reasons, whether it be form or whether it be personnel, whether it be just simple sickness that we've had to deal with and travel. And I thought last week's performance down at Geelong was, as I said, pretty strong performance, and we were able to back that up tonight, which makes me feel like we're building again.
So you made 6 changes again, which has been quite repetitive. So what do you learn about your squad when you keep making those changes, or forced to make those changes?
Yeah, I prefer not to make all those changes if we can control that, but sometimes you can't control it, and we've been in a patch of time where we haven't been able. I mean, yesterday is a great example where I thought our Magpies played really well, but we took 3 players out based on we didn't know whether we were going to get anyone else ill overnight. We'd lost Travis, so we needed to be cautious of that, and I thought the Magpies played really well yesterday.
So what do you learn about the squad in this time?
Well, it's got some character, and it's got some depth about it. It's got some talent. There's no doubt about that. I mean, start of the year we set out to make finals, and then we set out to finish as high as we can. As of tonight, we qualified top 4, so that's a great starting point. We just need to continue to build for the next 2 weeks and see where that lands.
What made you rethink ruck? So you brought Hayes in when
we didn't have many left. Ruckman.
Yeah.
That was one of the challenges, and we haven't got Dixon up the front, so we've got a few. We're playing a young Ollie Lord as a key forward, and we picked Sam Hayes off no games, based on I think Sam's had a pretty good season, and we lose Vizentini, who was emerging last week for us. We thought, but injuries. That's why we rethink the ruck, and and tonight we had a decision to make based on was Sam going to be okay physically with his shoulder for a start, and then what was he going to add to that midfield group, which we thought was pretty worthwhile investment in putting someone to control the ball a bit better.
Was Sam fully fit? Like, was he? Because I mean, I know he's on the injury list. I think it's like 2 to 3 at the start of the week, and then he's playing.
Yeah, no, he wasn't fit Thursday at about, I reckon it was about 5 o'clock PM, and then when he seen Dante get sore, he got fit. So he was okay from there. So yeah, he was fully fit. I mean, he's carried a shoulder. I mean, you've only got to have a look at him. He's got a bit of a sore shoulder, but we supported him and got him through, and he played pretty well, I thought.
Miles, just a really good first quarter from Miles on that wing. What was behind moving him up from defence onto the wing?
Well, I think that the key to that is availability. We think Miles is a really incredible talent that's got a future, and I've said this before, I'm not quite sure exactly what position it is, and when we get our backs back together, and Trent's still not part of that, when we get them back together, it allows us to be a bit more free with where we place Miles. I think I'm not sure where he ends up. I think he could be anywhere, to be honest, as a footballer, but he's pretty powerful when he's at his best.
How exciting is that to have in a player that you kind of, you don't know where it is for him, I guess?
Oh, I think the growth in him is exciting, but where that ends, I'm not quite sure.
Ken, just how satisfying is it to lock in top 4 with 2 rounds remaining?
Oh, yeah, really satisfying. It should be. I mean, the players and the club and everyone involved with it should be really, really pleased with that performance thus far to get to that position. But we're certainly not finished. We want to keep going, and we want to finish as high as we can. We're not satisfied with just being in the top 4. So our challenge is now to keep going.
It looked like initially, I guess you had a plan for Sam Taylor. We've Todd on him. I mean, how do you think that Todd fared on one of the best defenders?
Yeah, I think it looked pretty 50-50, I would imagine, without looking. I haven't watched it back, but I think Todd gave us some good looks. Sam's a great player. It takes a high-quality player to compete with a high-quality player for a start. So I think there was 2 pretty exciting young players in the competition playing against each other.
How much of a silver lining do you get out of these weeks that if you get into a wall again in September, you can rely on players who you've not picked repeatedly over the season? That you've just shown you've got some depth now.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Rich. I think it's just handy to have, but we haven't always chosen to have it. It's been forced on us a little bit, but we've been really comfortable with our squad depth all the way through the year. I don't, it hasn't always showed out at sample level because we're really, really young there. But again, today we took the field, I would have thought, pretty young as a group. So I think it's encouraging, not just for today, it's encouraging for the future.
Any update on your future, Ken? I mean, it'd be a nice time coming off the back of a win to announce something.
Yeah,
the optics.
Yeah, well, clearly everyone would be talking around. They said, look, we've been talking. That's the great part for us at the moment. We've made some, we've had some initial chats, and we'll progress that. I couldn't imagine our progress would take a long time. I think it's just a matter of making sure that we've got everything in place that we need to, and we'll move forward with that. I've said myself plenty of times, love to be around, love to be a part of Port Adelaide. They've been incredible support to me, so hopefully that continues.
I guess it looks like Josh Carr's pulled out of the Richmond. I mean, from your end, I mean, that must be pleasing having someone like him at the club.
Oh, it's a great result for us as a football club, for Josh to see, one, that he's still building his own future and his own coaching resume, which I think he's going to be an outstanding coach. He's going to be an outstanding coach in his own right. And I think what he's done now is that he's made a decision to continue to improve himself and better himself with an exciting future ahead. And, he's just moved a young family interstate last year. I can understand why. He's been a really important part of what we've been able to do this year, and I hope that he continues to build, and 100%, one day Josh Carr will be a coach.
I guess, how do you see his kind of role at Alberton in the next couple of years, I guess, now that he says he wants to stay here?
Exactly what it's almost been since the day he got here, fully supporting a group's development and the team's development, and my support from him to give me the support that he's been able to do with all our coaches. I mean, Josh is one of the coaches, and he plays a pretty important part because he's got a good midfield group that he's working with Luke Kelly. But I think the most pleasing thing for me is I just love his support and care for everyone in our footy club.
Just back on the next 2 weeks, Ken, does it give you a bit of freedom, or what do you hope to? I guess you want to solidify the form that you had today and during finals?
Yeah, it's a bit challenging because of a couple of things. We've got to make sure we've got healthy people for a start, and then we want to be able to play people and have them in the team at the right time of the year. But there's still 3.5 weeks or something before we actually have to be absolutely at our prime, and we're going to have to use every one of those days to get everyone ready, and hopefully. But we do want to go in with some good form, and today's a good start.
Anything pressing in your mind that you need to really nail down before you hit the finals?
Yeah, there's always things that we're never always happy, as are we coaches. We're always wanting to improve, and we've seen today some really exciting stuff in our offensive stuff, seen some really strong defensive stuff, but then when we got challenged a little bit, I think they were able to run through us a little bit. So it's not perfect, but it's heading in a nice direction.
Yes, Jason Horne-Francis also looks like he's heading in a nice direction. At least it's his best game on stats-wise, I guess, it was.
He's 20-year-old's been pretty good. Well, we invested big for him, and he's going to return that and more, I would imagine. He is part of that midfield group. You do see that it is a little bit challenging for opposition when you've got, and I thought Ollie today. I thought Ollie was back somewhere near his absolute best too, which I think is something we've been waiting for a little bit. So there's some positives in Jason, there's some positives in Connor and Zach and Miles and all those boys, but I thought as much as anyone, I was as positive around Ollie as I was anyone.
I was going to get to Ollie, actually. I mean, how big of a boost that is at this time this year to see.
Yeah, you can imagine getting a Brownlow medalist back in form, playing at his best. It does give you a boost. He's really important. He's a leader of our footy club, and hopefully he can continue to grow from there. I'm sure he will.
Can you just go back to Josh Carr? Do you want to deal with what's been said all today, that Port Adelaide's already agreed to a succession plan with you and him for the next 2 years?
So the first thing we should do about that is to have a succession plan, you've got to have other things in place for a start. And I just said before, we've started conversations, so I'd imagine there'd be a piece that needs to get done before anything like that happens. But I don't think Josh is... Everyone who thinks that Josh is got on a promise at Port Adelaide, they don't know Josh Carr well enough. He's got a commitment to us, and I think he showed that that's real. And I don't think it's anything to do with whether he is going to be, and I've said myself, he's going to be a senior coach one day. I would hope, and I do hope, one day it is at Port Adelaide.
Just one more on that. Ken, do you want it all done before finals? I mean, to stop people like us asking you and bothering you?
No, at the start of the year we said August, and we'll work through it in August with the right people, and we'll get to the answer. All right? Thanks.